In 2026, your company's AI isn't just making mistakes. It's creating a massive, hidden liability, and your auditors haven't flagged it yet because they don't even know what to look for. We call it efficiency. But the reality? You are flying a $100 million plane with no cockpit instruments, and the crash has already started. We've integrated AI into everything. It's in our hiring processes, our lending algorithms, our healthcare diagnostics, and our global supply chains. It's the engine of the modern economy. But here's the problem. Modern LLMs are black boxes. You input data, it spits out a decision, but the why, the actual logic behind that decision, is completely untraceable. Traditional IT auditing, the kind of frameworks you studied for your CISA exam, was built for deterministic systems. Systems where if A happens, then B must follow, every time. But AI is probabilistic. It doesn't follow a hard-coded script. It makes a guess, a very educated, data-driven guess, but at the end of the day, it's still just a probability. And that gap between logic and probability is where the liability lives. If you can't verify the why, you can't audit the risk. You're just hoping for the best. Imagine an AI in charge of a city's power grid. It's been audited by a top firm. It's officially compliant. But then, something deep in the model shifts. In 2025, health insurers like United Health and Humana faced massive lawsuits over AI models that denied claims at a rate of 1 per second, a systemic denial-by-default algorithm that prioritized speed over patient health. Who is at fault? The developer who trained it? The AI itself? Or the auditor who signed off on the compliance report just 3 weeks earlier? This isn't science fiction. Look at Klarna. In 2024, they replaced 700 agents with AI. But by May 2025, the strategy backfired. Service quality collapsed, and losses doubled to nearly $100 million in a single quarter. Or consider Revolut. In April 2025, they were hit with a $3.5 million fine for anti-money laundering gaps, with regulators signaling that their AI-driven risk controls weren't keeping pace with their growth. And then there's the $25 million Arup heist in 2024. Where a deepfake CFO convinced an employee to transfer funds during a video call. This is the reality of the AI audit gap. A traditional checklist can tell you who has access to the server, but it can't tell you if the AI inside that server has developed a bias that's about to cost you millions. They weren't looking at training data poisoning. If the data used to train the AI is biased or corrupted at the source, the entire output of that system is toxic. Traditional audits only look at the skin, the exterior security. But AI auditing requires you to look at the DNA, the very fabric of the data and the weights of the model. By 2027, the global cost of AI-driven compliance failures is projected to hit $10 trillion. That is more than the GDP of most countries on Earth. If you're an IT auditor right now and you don't know how to audit a neural network, you aren't just falling behind. You are becoming professionally obsolete. The industry is moving faster than the certifications. If you can't speak the language of AI risk, your seat at the table is already being given to someone else. So, how do we fix this? We move from traditional IT audit to what we call AI assurance. This is where the real value and the real security lives. Pillar 1 is explainability, or XAI. Can the AI show its work? If a model rejects a loan or a medical claim and it can't explain the why, it fails the audit immediately. Pillar 2 is adversarial testing. In AI assurance, we have to try to break the AI on purpose. We need to see if we can trick it into leaking data or hallucinating a failure. Pillar 3 is continuous monitoring. An AI audit is no longer a once-a-year snapshot. It has to be a heartbeat monitor, checking the model's health every single day. Here's the silver lining. Because 99% of auditors are terrified of this technology, the 1% who take the time to learn it are becoming the highest paid consultants in history. Companies are desperate for people who can bridge the gap between code and compliance. They need translators who understand both the math and the law. You don't need a PhD in mathematics to start. You need to understand governance frameworks. Start with the NIST AI Risk Management Framework. It's the gold standard. Then, move to ISO 42001. These are the tools that are defining the future of digital trust. Learn them now, and you'll be the one holding the flashlight in the dark. The tools are changing, and the stakes are higher than they've ever been. But the goal remains the same. Building digital trust in a world that's rapidly losing it. The black box is opening. Will you be the one leading the way or the one trapped inside? If you want my full checklist for auditing LLMs, check the link below. Subscribe if you want to survive the AI transition and stay ahead of the curve. This is just the beginning. I'll see you in the next one.